Hey, this is Aku.
This is Sudi.
My name is Bianca Maieli, and we're representing No Nazar.
No Nazar and... Sorry.
Hi, I'm Bianca Maieli.
This is Sudi.
Hi, I'm Bianca Maieli.
This is Sudi.
Yo, this is Aku.
And with M. and Omar, we are No Nazar, and we're here to talk all about music with Santulan Creative.
Make some noise for Aku. Let's go, let's go.
It came about early 2020 with the other two members of the group that aren't here today. So shout out M. and Omar. We linked up and noticed a lack of representation in the global club scene. We all loved a lot of similar music, and there was a lot of really dope global music events happening, but none of them really had South Asian sounds represented. And so we came together to create a party that had that. And we threw our first party 2020, and then the weekend after, lockdown. So through that, we just kept the party going through live streams and stuff. And then in 2021, when stuff started opening up again, we linked with DJ Sudi, and he joined the squad. And shortly after that, Aku came and joined as well. So it was just kind of a natural flow and fit. We all had a lot of the same interests musically and a lot of the same passions, same ideals,
Same ideals, yeah. It's in the name, like No Nazar, you know. Nazar means like, what would you say? Like
No
bad
bad
vibes.
vibes.
There's like
No
so
bad
many
vibes.
no bad vibes.
No
you know?
Nazar kind of translates to loosely the idea of no bad vibes. Nazar in itself is kind of this idea of the evil eye, but it can be applied in a way that's just people projecting their jealousy or their
Ego.
judgment or all these things to you. That's kind of the concept. So we wanted to exist to be the antithesis of that. So no bad vibes, no judgment, that kind of thing.
Everyone's there, and we're all here together in the parties, and everyone has equal representation. We try to like play everything from, you know, Afro beats to Arab music to Indian music to anything. So we want everyone to just be there and feel included and, you know, vibe together.
Other people underestimate us sometimes. And I can imagine maybe other non-POC and queer collectives might not experience that pushback a lot, but I think even when we're trying to book new cities or venues, I think people underestimate us a little bit.
I wouldn't say like there is like this a really apparent disparity of how like DJs and like artists are treated, like brown skin, like brown dark skin people or versus white skin people. So I haven't experienced that as much, but like I think like one thing that I feel like kind of all brought us together or just through all our own journeys is like we're all being from South Asian descent, having those sounds being represented wherever when we're outside and being in, you know, just like that, at a party or an event or like just in like musically, and so that kind of in our way that fueled our journeys just to fill in that void.
Nightlife has completely changed since COVID, and I still feel like we're building back from that. Artist, promoter, and venue relationships have, I feel like, been rebuilding a lot since the pandemic, and I feel like it's just gotten harder for everyone. When we started, not that we're not the first people to infuse South Asian sounds into, you know, with other types of genres and that. It's people have been doing it for a while, and especially people in the UK, they've been like on it, you know. But I feel like when we came on the scene, we were bringing something really, really, really fresh to the scene. We were doing it in a way that I hadn't heard before, with sounds from regions that people weren't really experimenting with that much.
Each month changes, where our sounds change, the things we listen to, what we're inspired by, our new music comes out, so it's, I'm excited.
Which is dope, because we're all just feed off of each other. Like, I'll show them like some dope artists that I found, like Illustrator or something, and they'll send me like some shit that they found like, I don't know, like on SoundCloud somewhere
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
just like-
And I'm just like, okay, now all these ideas are just bubbling up. Like I don't know how to express it now, you know.
It's the evolution, you know. It was like a year ago, Aku wasn't producing I'm a Piano. Now he's producing the most fire I'm a Piano I've heard. It's just
Exactly.
like-
See, so that's how I feel like that's how it changes. Like we get inspired by each other. We're just like, yo,
Definitely.
let's get it.
I feel like I definitely tap into my culture like every single time. I'll usually have definitely some South Asian sprinkles, and then since I'm half Colombian, I'll definitely have a lot of Latin music on deck. So I usually have both of those for sure. That's kind of like base, and from there, I usually definitely, if I have an open format set, which is my favorite, then I'll definitely include Afrobeats, I'm a Piano, Bella Funk. What else? Dembo for sure. And dance hall. Those are kind of like the main ones I hit, and then kind of fill in the blanks from there.
I personally, I always want to like surprise people or like try to find something new because I get kind of bored of like what I play sometimes. So I always try to keep at least some Punjabi music in there for sure because I'm Punjabi. So, but I'm like, I think we all grew up to like Sango, which is like he's like one of our favorite producers. So I always gotta put ballet funk in there or some Brazilian shit. So I have to have that in there. That's like a must have. And then, you know, depending on the party, I've been really into Amapiano lately, so I've been just throwing a lot of Amapiano like cuts in there, especially like skija and a lot of these like deeper cuts.
I think my foundation is like Afrobeats and like house music. How those are my core foundations. Like how when like really what got me into DJing is like those genres and like how just it's just very core to my sound.
Having a community space where we can be with each other, and just so many of the people that come to No Nazar have become our friends, our chosen family, and each event feels like reuniting with everyone. And it can be someone that you're so close to and keep in touch with. Like, you know, I met some of my best friends, and then there's people that I only see at the parties that doesn't go beyond that, but it still feels like community when we're together. It's still like, it's so good to see them every time. And that's been so healing for me. And then also having a platform to just be able to give back, you know, we're a small but scrappy team, but one thing that was important from us, even from the start, was just the element of giving back. So even in the pandemic, one of the ways we kept No Nazar alive was through fundraising live streams, which we focus on different causes, and we want to keep that going, and we want to make sure we're helping our local communities that need it and also international communities that need it, because we're playing music from all around the world, so we want to make sure we're giving back to those communities as well. We did a Palestinian-centered solidarity event in LA and New York, and we've done a few other events that are more cause-centered for different types of causes. And whether we're doing an event specifically tied to fundraiser or anything, we just try to reiterate and have strong messaging at each event about our core values.
And I think also like throughout the party we have that messaging all the time. Like we're always on the mic, making sure people feel safe in that space, you know, and always reinstilling those values, especially if it's a themed event specifically for a cause, you know. And we're always there for our community, you know. We're if they're hurting or if they're healing, we're always there. I mean, there's people that sometimes come up to me and they're just like, I can't believe you played Palestinian music, like, you know. And I'm sitting here, I'm just a DJ. I'm playing this music because I think it's awesome. But for them, it's like, it's actually like, you know, they feel like someone's speaking for them, you know. And I feel like we're doing that on a daily basis, you know. And even when we're listening to music, we're not listening in like a sense of like, you know, either like clout or like we're just, you know, we're genuinely like, we appreciate a culture and we genuinely want to support a culture too. So
we're trying to be active in different ways in our community, and just for different causes, and especially the ones on hand right now, you know, whether it's protesting or boycotting or writing to our representatives. And, you know, there can be a point where it's like, well, well, what else can we do? You know, it feels, we feel, or I have felt, speaking for myself, discouraged in this just political climate and all these things. And so as an artist, I think one thing that we can contribute to is the music and the art. And so if we can amplify the music and the voices of the oppressed, then we can give them a platform in a way. I met the cutest queer couple that met at No Nazar and they're still together. And that is like...
Yeah, we start a relationship, literally
yeah,
started
yeah,
No
that
Nazar.
just like warms my heart. I'm like, oh my gosh. Mission complete. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Everyone that's ever played our party has blown me away for the...
Yeah.
But it was an honor to have Ward just because we've all been such a big fan of his. So being able to bring him to LA for his LA debut just felt like a historic moment for us. So that definitely stood out.
Another one.
My homie Bianca Oblivion, who I've seen DJ
Crazy.
so many times,
Crazy.
and every single time blows me away. So when she played our show, she
My
she
first
blew it
No
out the
Nazar
park.
Bianca Oblivion played, and it was like insane. Absolutely
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, insane.
One of my favorites is DJ Happy Beats.
Oh yeah.
He
of
like
course.
just blows me away every single time. Just his musicality, his technique. It's just like just mad respect.
Yeah,
You know?
mad respect. Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Manara,
real.
we had Manara from the UK.
Yeah, Manara, dude,
Manara,
Manara,
crazy.
Manara blew my mind because she I never seen someone start her set at 150 BPM. I just crush it for like an hour and a half straight, and like just do
Wild.
live mixing, live editing, just things that I didn't think that were possible. You know.
Yeah, even Z Muffin she crushed it too.
Oh, yeah.
Z-Muffin.
When we were in New York, she smashed that shit. I'm always blown away when I see her play too. So she's amazing.
Happy Beach just sent us this song,
Yeah.
like Kulosa remix, that has this fusion, like Afro Latin fusion, but it's like just the beat I've never heard before, but it's like also a little futuristic too. So it's just, I'm hearing things new every single day.
I have multiple rabbit holes on
Yeah.
Spotify and SoundCloud.
Either anywhere from another country that always very inspiring. UK. Everything and anything from the UK.
Happy Beats put me onto music from the Gulf Coast, and it's totally different. It's super swingy, vibey, it's slower.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that, I've never heard anybody play it out loud. So it's that kind of stuff gets me excited because this is a vibe,
We also did London, so we're going to be heading back there soon. And we have our San Francisco debut at the beginning of March.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a bunch of others on our wish list. I mean, I think
Toronto, Detroit,
Chicago.
I'd love to play in Miami.
Miami.
We want to go to Portugal so badly.
Brazil.
Netherlands. Yeah, Netherlands, Germany,
South Africa.
Kenya, Ghana,
Nigeria,
India,
Japan,
Pakistan,
Yeah.
the whole world.
Yeah,
the whole world.
I mean,
Basically.
We
Australia.
have a long wish list, yeah.
Yeah, Australia. I think I guess do you mean more near future?
Yeah.
That's the
For sure.
really cool thing about diaspora. You'll find community in the most strangest places. So
Yeah.
the places you never thought you'd find.
When I played in New York last time, I played a on the piano remix I made of Dummy Felestini, but right after that, I played an edit I did of Kendrick Lamar's All Right, and at that time I felt like a set could be more than just playing music. It could be something to uplift people in times, and that's the time where I felt I was really thinking about the people. I wasn't thinking about I just want to play cool music,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where I felt it was elevating past music in that sense for me.
Definitely top of mind for me, Missy Elliott. I love Missy Elliott. I just feel like as soon as I first heard her music as a kid, I was tapped in. And it's just something that could have come out now and would still feel ahead of its time.
One of my biggest influences is Skrillex. Just like I've just been listening to him since I was a kid, but like also as soon as I once I got into DJing and just seeing him as a DJ versus a producer, it entirely changed for me, because just just the style of DJing and like how he uses like 3-4 decks and like mixes and like just it's always been an inspiration.
I feel like I'm gonna piggyback off the Maieli thing, because like one of my huge influence on me was like Timbaland, and like just producers like Madlib, and those guys. Like I mean, I remember I listened to Madlib. There's an album he put out, and it was called Masala Mixtapes or something, and the whole album was just like completely sampled from old Bollywood, and that just inspired me like crazy. So from there, like Madlib just became like one of my favorite producers of like all time. Who is it?
Anyone who uses
Dario Fox. They were all DJing on stuff that we don't use.
Yeah,
like Tractor.
Dude,
and
Tractor is the one of. I wish Tractor. I'm a diehard Tractor fan. I wish the DJ industry would shift more to Tractor. You know, but like I was forced out of Tractor because of the DJ industry. But
it's crazy. These guys are playing on Tractor, and they're like, they don't even have like CDJ decks. Like they just have like a MIDI pad, and they're just triggering stuff, and I'm just like, wow, like that type of stuff is like, it's crazy. Like even when we saw Dario Fox, the way he loops stuff, I was like, holy shit. I'm like, what is going on here, you know? So yeah, like artists like that are just, it makes me think like, man, I need to think differently how I perform when I play, like you know, as opposed to just playing. Because then I think it changes the vibe completely. Because then you're actually thinking about the song differently too. Like you're like, I'm trying to actually mix this in a way where, you know, maybe it's like wordplay, or maybe it's like you know what I mean.
People are more willing, at least in LA, which is nice, because we were just saying this the other day. LA is our playground because we can be really experimental with it, and everyone's really receptive and open to that, which is nice, and that really excites me, because that means we can really play around with a bunch of different sounds and stuff that resonates with us. And even if it might be new to an audience member, I feel like people are a little bit more open to that now, just to hear things that are different, things that are maybe not familiar, or new takes on classics.
Yeah, even like bringing sounds from like, I feel like even from the UK, I feel like that's something I never really thought would work in LA, but it does. It's just, I feel like, like B saying, like, you know, it's just more receptive over here, you know, as opposed to some other markets, you know, but in general, like, I think that's what excites all of us too. It's like we get to play stuff that we don't usually get to play, that we always listen to, you know.
For me, it's the technology. The technology is growing. It's like the technology is like way different than it was like back in like 2016 when I first started DJing, and like the introduction of stems to like
stems like changed the game.
It's really changed the game. Now it's like there's so many different edits and blends. It's really accessible for everyone, so you're hearing a lot more, you know, of that cross culture fusion.
Yeah, and I think stems also like it's gonna give a whole new generation of producers and, you know, DJs, because I think that just opens so much creativity and accessibility to people.
I play for the ladies, and I always bring that energy, and I feel like I what specifically in the No Nazar space, I feel like I really bring a Latin energy that I feel like is a puzzle piece in the mosaic of No Nazar. So I feel like that's my sauce.
I'll say it and I'll always say it again. Femme DJs are superior. They're superior.
I feel like I brought Afrodesi, that element to No Nazar, and it's kind of just how, like, I guess that fusion, you know, is like also between like Bollywood Amapiano and like Bollywood and Afrobeat music mixed together. I feel like that kind of
That's definitely one of your signature sounds.
signature sounds and
signature Sudi sounds.
Yeah.
I definitely still feel like those like very, very like percussive, high energy is like one of your signature.
I think
kinda-
Omar he's the one that told me that like I feel like you guys didn't really know what kuduro was until like I played that first set, right?
Nah, I was a huge Franco fan. for
Okay,
years.
yeah, maybe
No,
you were,
I'm a
but I
huge
think
kuduro
majority everyone
fan.
else didn't know what kuduro was. But I was like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
people need to hear this.
the Kuduro sound is like I feel like you really brought that over to No Nazar in I guess in your sets, you know, it's just really like our sounds and the things we listen to changed ever since you
Yeah,
started.
yeah. Even like I don't even know if you guys were playing Guam before I started DJing, but
I think
Guam
we
and-
were playing Guam.
we were playing, yeah. I mean, like stuff like that, like I loved, and I was like, I would always just think about like I would love to play this live, and just because I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing too. Is like if I hear something, I'm just like, wow, this sounds crazy. I need to play it somehow.
That's happened so many times.
It's happened to me mostly. I feel like I used to have a USB that I don't use anymore, but that USB
The
wouldn't
infamous
load.
USB.
Yeah, that USB wouldn't load tracks.
What's the brand?
I'm
Call
pretty
them
sure.
out.
I'm pretty sure it's SanDisk.
Oh, SanDisk.
Yeah, I think it was SanDisk, but three of my sets, like I had the perfect set plan, and then half of the tracks weren't loading, so I was like, someone had to like rescue me and like play something. He's had to rescue me like twice.
I've done it so many. What do you mean twice? I feel like it's been more than that. Sometimes when we're on a stage, people love to just like find their way onto a stage, you know? And like people.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. People find their way onto the stage and, you know, make their presence known, like being like, hey, I'm here. But like sometimes people will try to grab onto the DJ deck, and on this one particular occasion, someone grabbed onto the DJ booth and was like using it as assistance, you know, to dance. And Aku was DJing, and he wasn't akin to this, but like someone was almost like pulled down the whole DJ booth.
Almost fell in the crowd.
Almost fell like
almost knocked it all completely.
knocked it completely over into the crowd, and
Yeah.
and like me and B would just like saved it. We're like the last defender to
Yeah.
the last.
That would have been bad, man.
That
That
would've
would have
been
been bad.
bad.
Everything would have
Been
fell in
like-
the crowd.
I would have been on TikTok with DJ top DJ.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, that's a crazy one.
That's hard.
Oh, that is hard. I feel like I'm like very similar to Sokka from Avatar: Last Airbender
Yeah.
in some ways.
I always wanted to be like Carmen Sandiego. I feel like Aku's like Dexter.
Everyone keeps saying
Yeah.
Dexter's
Aku's
lover.
like Dexter.
Joshua said that. I was like, she kept making that.
He always looks like a little like.
Yeah,
mad
you look like a mad
scientist.
scientist. Like, when you're deep.
Yeah,
that's
he's
actually
like-
that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I think we want to keep playing shows, keep playing in new cities, expanding our sound, and expanding into different facets. We want to do No Nazar, the music label, No Nazar, the fashion line, and yeah, really grow and expand.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much like extending our reach, you know. We really, like this year, we really learned how far and like all the people we can reach, and really want to just, you know, fill in that void, people in like all like different cities around the world, and kind of just also grow musically and kind of like do more of the like Eastern sounds, mixing Eastern sounds with kind of like dance music, and that's kind of like the shift that we're all in right now. So kind of just leaning more into that.
Yeah, I think same thing with like even for me at least, like even like visuals and offerings, you know, for people, like being more inclusive, like in other cultures too, like taking ideas from all around the world, and even just offering that, you know, online somewhere, you know, where people can, you know, consume it, or like I guess like, you know, enjoy it or whatnot. but yeah, like things like the fashion brand and the label. I feel like that's like a big step for us.
And I think we all want to start putting out more original music as well.
Yeah,
Expect to hear a lot more edits, blends, remixes, but also
that's all fine, but
that's
we
all
want to
gonna
make
continue, but
original
I think we're all,
stuff.
yeah. Thanks for watching. You can follow us at nonazar.la to get all the latest on our music and upcoming events. We'll catch you next time.